Pope Francis will wade into religious and political minefield of Myanmar's crackdown on Rohingya Muslims and the effects of their exodus to Bangladesh when he visits both countries next month. Today, the Vatican released the itinerary for the trip in late November, early December. Juliet Linley is EWTN News Nightly's Vatican correspondent. She joins us now from Rome with more on this trip. Juliet, why has Pope Francis chosen these two countries in particular?
Now, Wyatt, this trip's motto is peace and love among people of different faiths. And these are two countries with very small Catholic populations. In Myanmar, which is predominantly Buddhist, Catholics make up 1% of the population, and in Muslim-majority Bangladesh, Catholics make up a mere 0.2%. So Vatican insiders say the Pope has chosen these countries precisely because they're on the peripheries. And Pope Francis has said he wants to take the message of the gospel to those peripheries. It's been a priority of his from the beginning of his pontificate. And the two countries are also very close to India and China, two nations which analysts say would make highly symbolic destinations for future papal trips.
Sure, and it makes sense from a spiritual and spreading the gospel point of view here, but what do you think are the political implications of the Holy Father's visit?
Well, while this is a pastoral trip, there is no doubt that the focus will likely be on the plight of the Rohingya people, in whose defense the Pope has spoken out repeatedly. They're a Muslim minority in Buddhist-majority Myanmar and have come under attack by security forces, and they've been flooding into neighboring Bangladesh by the hundreds of thousands, causing a major humanitarian crisis. Now, the government offensive has drawn international condemnation and with UN accusations of ethnic cleansing, which the government denies. The itinerary makes no mention of a papal meeting with Rohingya in either country, but Pope Francis is likely to refer to their plight, and he has repeatedly denounced the persecution of what he calls our Rohingya brothers. Now, both nations regard the Rohingya as citizens of the other country.
And it only makes sense that Pope Francis would speak for the marginalized. Juliet, what will be the highlights of the trip?
Now, Pope Francis will meet Myanmar's civilian leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, as well as the country's military generals and top Buddhist monks. The meeting with Suu Kyi is expected to be private, whereas the military leaders are expected to attend a separate public meeting where Vatican observers say they expect Pope Francis to make a keynote speech. Now, he is also scheduled to say 2 masses in Myanmar and 1 in Bangladesh.
Very interesting. We'll continue to follow all of the information on the Pope's upcoming visit. Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Wyatt.